Howdy y'all, welcome to Hazenboro Craftworks. I'm the Alchemist. And the bottle we're going to dive into today is a bottle done with intention. And this is Green River Distillery from Owensboro, Kentucky. And it is a small batch bourbon with barrels blended that have ages of anywhere from 4 to 7 years. And this bottle with intention comes in at a proof of 111.1. And if you're not picking up on that, that's 1111. A tribute to Veterans Day. And the licensing fees on this very Army-esque label is licensed by the U.S. military, with a portion of the proceeds going to the MWR, which is the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation program for the military, helping military as well as their family. So the mash bill on this one is a 75% Kentucky corn, and yeah, I'm emphasizing that Kentucky corn for a reason. 50% rye and 10% malted barley. Now, why did I emphasize that Kentucky corn? Because this corn is actually grown around that Owensboro, Kentucky area, and it's the specific corn that Green River Distillery uses in their mash bill, and it's has a distinct sweetness to it, giving the Green River bourbons a much sweeter notes to it. And as you all know, I'm kind of a sweet kind of guy, so this hits my on the Green River bottles that I've had in the past, this hits my sweet tooth just right, and I tend to love them. So MSRP on this bottle is $49.99, comes in at a sweet spot as well. However, I've been seeing out there secondary pricing in some areas bumping up that price to $65 to $85. So if you can find it at $49.99 like I did, right in that range, it's a good tribute at $49.99. Now let's dive into the nose and see if that Kentucky corn does what they say it does on this 111.1 proof bottle as well. Surprising at 111 proof, that little bit heavier ethanol notes on there right off the bat. But I'm also getting some light caramel from there. Was hoping for a little bit more sweetness with that whole Kentucky corn rant that I went on there. But some oak. Also a little bit of apple. But that apple's not like just apple that you've freshly bitten into or cut into right away. It's like, now the best way I can describe it is I like to make myself a lot of different garnishes for my different old fashions, different cocktails, things I make. And I like to cut up an apple, and I like to put them in some sort of a brown sugar or a simple syrup that I make, and you kind of stew that apple. And that's just kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting a nice caramely sweet stewed apple, or baked apple. There you go, baked apple smell. Maybe even is a little bit better than stewed, but somewhere in between there. It's not quite baked like a pie, but no need to dwell on that. It's a nice appley, nice, not fresh apple, but a good apple smell there. Caramel on the nose, a little bit of oak on there. Not that typical oak that I get on the nose, but a nice oak. Nice oak on the nose nonetheless. Now let's go in for our sips. Drinks hotter to me than 111 proof. right off the bat. On the Kentucky Chew, on the tip of the tongue, a nice heat. But also that ethanol, that heat, really surrounded my entire palate. And then I swallow it and I get a really nice Kentucky hug. Was not expecting that much heat. Right off the bat like that, was not expecting that. But there is a definite sweetness in there. I was kind of expecting that apple, caramelish apple, stewed apple, whatever it was I was getting on the nose. More of a stewed apple, I think. I was expecting that for the sweetness, but that's not what it is. Okay, it's got a cherry kind of a sweetness to it, but it's not like you've bitten into a cherry. It's more like you had like a cherry cola that went flat, but not in a negative way. It's quite inviting, and to me, colas have a caramel-esque, you know, that caramel syrup or a caramely type note to that cola, and then you get that cherry in there. So this is good. Quite nice, and the heat in there. So to me, it's quite peppery as well. You just have that heat, and it's surprising to me. But nothing in a negative way. Still all positive. Really nice pour. And on that finish, the finish in the back of the palate definitely goes right away to a char. So what I found up front on the nose, what I found in the beginning there was a lighter oak, maybe more like a toasted oak or something similar to this, but now it's char. And it's not even really oakiness to it, it's just char in this moment. And then as that cherry cola just like dissipated through my palate and went away, it's more a buttery sweetness. Overall, very, very good bottle, very good pour. The heat is a little bit more than what I would expect on 111. I've mentioned that a couple of times. Doesn't make it negative. Quite good to me. I do like a higher proof. This drink's higher than its proof, in my opinion. Again, that finish, I struggled there just a little bit. There's a char. I am getting some oak now, but there's a nice butteriness in the end that I'm really enjoying on this finish. From the tip of my tongue all the way to the back of the mid palate, and then in the back of the palate you get that char. I am getting some oak, and it's nice and buttery, and maybe even just a bit of a sweet toffee note on this one. I'm glad that I have this one on my shelf. I'm glad I picked it up. Quite good. At an MSRP of $49.99, why not grab it? It's good. If it's getting up to there to that 65, 85 bucks, I think it's still a grab at 65 bucks for sure. Snag one, quite good. And as you all know, I love to have y'all coming back around, so please take it easy. Don't drink and drive. Cheers.